Right, so before we start, the first thing that we need to do is to get clear on your vision for the future. So it's really, really important to have something to head for. Otherwise, it's a bit like getting in your car and just randomly driving without knowing where you're going. So sometimes, you might have a vision that's really, really massive and it's going to take a few years to achieve. So in the past, I've had 10-year plans and 5-year plans, and then I break them down. So that's absolutely fine. So what you might want to start doing is thinking about, okay, well, when I'm doing what I really want to do with my life, or when I'm being who I really want to be, or when I have, the things in my life that I really want to have, what will that look like? And then you need to kind of start to think about, okay, realistically, how long might that take? And you might want to set yourself a goal of, it could be 10 years, it could be 5 years, whatever. Ultimately, if you've got a big long vision like that, then you want to break it up into chunks. It's a bit like if I'm driving from Cornwall back up country to where my family live, then I want to first of all have an idea of when I'm going to arrive. Then I want to know some of the places that I'm going to stop to refuel or have something to eat or whatever on the way, and I might break that up into 3 chunks, for example. So that would be the equivalent of perhaps having a 10-year plan where you also have a 5-year plan and also 12-month plans sort of leading up to that. And the brain it's an interesting creature. What happens is that when you focus your attention onto something, it likes to then almost like reject things that aren't relevant to that particular thing. So in psychology, we might call this attentional bias. So if you're focusing your attention on something, then the bias is that you're going to notice those things. You're going to be kind of homed into those things that relate to your vision, relate to your goal, and you're going to follow those opportunities or things that come up. Equally, we have something called attentional blindness. So if you're focusing your attention on something, then you're going to start to reject or not see or ignore the things that don't relate to that. Yeah, it's the same principle as if you've just bought a new car, you start to see hundreds of the same car driving around everywhere. Your brain is primed to notice those things. So this is a psychological tool that we're using. You're going to optimize what your brain does to reach your goals. So quite often it might be that you already have some kind of idea of what it is that you want to do, but you really need to nail that down and you really need to have a clear description of it. So we're going to do a bit of an exercise, a visualization exercise. Now, don't worry if you're somebody who people say to me, oh, well, I can't see pictures in my mind's eye. That's absolutely fine. You can write things down. You can start to write a description of the things that are in your vision, or a list of the things that are going to be there, and that's absolutely fine. But you really need to start thinking about it. Otherwise, you're going to have no idea when you set off where it is that you're going. So I'm going to do a little guided visualization exercise and in the next video, and it's basically I'm going to get you really calm, because your brain works better when it's calm and it's not distracted by outside influences, when your nervous system is nice and relaxed. And then I'm simply going to ask some questions that you're going to either visualize or think about the things, the answers to those questions, and gradually put that vision together. And what I've done, I've included a little worksheet that has those questions written on them. So I suggest that you listen to it first and then go and complete the questions afterwards. And you can always kind of get yourself back in the zone, if you like, afterwards by listening to it again. If you're somebody who doesn't really want to listen to it, that's absolutely fine. Go and answer the questions. But there may be a slight difference between what's in the questions and what's in the actual visualization. So that's the next thing that we're going to do. Okay.